Last round. Fight!
So start at round one then. What's your initial game plan coming into round one, just to feel him out, or?
Yeah, obviously I knew he was gonna be sharp and that, and I knew he'd be on the basics. I knew that he'd be on it. If I threw a teep at him, he's gonna just catch it or he's gonna block it. So I knew I had to like set shots up, use fakes. Do you know what I mean? To get in, use little hops like that, change guard, confuse him basically.
Yeah.
Not fight like your original Thai fighter. You know what I mean?
Siam is trying to obviously take the centre of the ring.
Oh, he's
Throws a
high.
high.
Yeah. That's like I missed with a low kick then. That's why, because I missed with the low kick. And then he just whips it up fast before I even landed my leg.
Nice.
See that? That's why I slammed them 2 low kicks in there. Slam them in.
You know when he checks that, can you proper feel that on your foot, or is the adrenaline going so you don't really feel it?
Do you know what? For this fight, I thought, I'm fighting someone mint. I want that adrenaline to be there as well. And it just didn't come. It just didn't come. Like, obviously, I must have a bit of it while you're actually in action. But like, sometimes you get it before the fight.
Yeah.
And your body goes into a bit different. I haven't had that for ages now. I haven't had it for years, so it's a bit hard to say. But to be honest, I don't really feel it when I fight. I do feel it. You feel it like when you land something. Say if I land and you clip your foot, you feel it. But obviously, Muay Thai fight, you're just tough. You just know how to crack on with it. Even when you're sparring or you're hitting the pads in the gym. Sometimes you hurt yourself, but you just bite down on your gum shield and crack on. So.
Yeah.
What were them left kicks like? Were they powerful, or was it more just fast? Or
it was just fast, bro. Because I was fast. Like, obviously, I felt that one bounce off my forehead, so I knew that he was trying to slam him in. I was looking for a spinning elbow, and I got teeped in my back. This guy's just nice and composed, and he's just chilling. He's just chilling there. But hey, I'm trying to keep him guessing, do you know what I mean? Try to keep him a bit anxious, nervous. Don't let him chill too much, because if he starts chilling too much, it just pick you apart.
Yeah.
See there, I knew that left kick was coming a lot, so I had a bit of a game plan to like sidestep to the left and chop his leg down. Do you know what I mean? Move away from his left kick and chop him down.
Good dodge,
yeah, that was a close one. I see that had happened to me. Always happens. They'll catch your teeth and try throwing you on the rope. Always got to come in with a big shot. So obviously, usually I go to take out the leg or lean back from the kick, but I just didn't know what was coming, so I didn't want to risk it. I just thought I'm just getting out of the way. I just seen his knee flying at my face and just had nowhere else to go. But yeah, see like that, the rings always slippy. Yakao rings are slippy, man. All the time. Always slippy ring, man. But yeah, I was sticking on the leg just to try and slow him down, basically. Just to try and keep picking at it.
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter how strong someone is, how good of a fighter they are, if you keep on the legs, do you know what I mean? Obviously, it's got pros and cons. If they block it, you're hurting yourself, and you can feel it when you're fighting. If you kick someone solid and they block it solid, the adrenaline ain't saving you.
We've seen that like with Liam, man. Like, he's been getting leg kick checked all the time, and he's had like
shin split. Yeah, if your shin splits, it's happened to me in my K1 fighting thingy, and my shin split. Obviously, I kept kicking with it, but Raz, you can feel it. It's sore, do you know what I mean? So when you do kick, and if you're worried about kicking another block, you're not really bothered about kicking the thigh again. But if you kick another block, it's like you do feel it. But yeah, that first round was like, obviously, I think he caught me with a nice high kick. I caught him with a nice, sent him flying with a nice teep, sweeped him dinner. Landed some nice low kicks. I think it was tit for tat, do you know what I mean?
I think a lot of the fight was, to be fair.
Yeah, but he probably got the better scoring techniques. So yeah, I had a cross kick cross, that was nice at the end. But then every time he replied back. So even when I hit him, he knew to hit back straight away. It's like his natural second nature to him. But yeah.
So in the corner at the end of like a round, obviously you're like the main coach in Too Technical, but you had Diddy and Anton in your corner. What were they saying anything to you in particular, or just like encouraging you?
They just try and boost me in it a little bit, and they try and give me some set info of what's working, because they can see the fight better. Even even though I've got more experience than them, I always believe that no matter how experienced you are, when you're doing it yourself, an outsider, someone who's sat in the corner can see more. If I had my eyes in my corner, I'll be buzzing. Do you know what I mean? Because I can see shots. So when I tell my fighters, do this, that I know it's gonna work. If I had that for me, I'd be. Because sometimes, like I remember in one of my fights, Diddy actually said to me, it was in round 4 or 5. I was fighting Jamie Wheeler. He said, "What would you tell your fighter to do?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like growling at him, like I really don't know, did it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know, because your brain don't work properly, because you're trying to concentrate on not being hit and hitting him, as opposed to more of
the overall
what
picture.
what shots to be throwing and what shots working. But remember, Diddy and Anton kept telling me, and this stick on that leg, mate, because you've hurt his leg. Do you know what I mean? Don't like them low kicks. He said they could feel it in his face, like when he was landing, you could see him like wincing a bit, not wincing, but you could tell it was annoying him, hurting him, and his leg was reddening up. So they just told me stick on that and just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I just went for the odd bomb here and there, Joe, with the right hand, but he was on it. He was like pretty good at making me miss. I think Nara teeped his arm. I actually went to teep him in the face, you know, to be fair, but he sidestepped and threw it, and it caught him. I caught him with a nice body kick as well, but I don't know how, because I weren't looking for the body kicks. I think I just seen his hand come at me with like a reaction. Even now,
a few times you've come in like marching forward with your knee up.
Yeah.
Like, what's the aim for when you come marching in with your knee up?
It's a good question. But yeah, there's different logics behind it. Basically, by you call it hopping in, but you use your knee as like a shield as you're going in. So like, if my knee's in the middle here, if he kicks me on either side, you can block pretty easy. And also, when you hop at someone like that, it's quite hard for him to teep you or to attack you. You know what I mean? Just tried the spinning elbow on him.
Under it.
Yeah, he ducked. Do you know what as well? In my head, someone told me, and just before it, throw it to the body. Like I had an instinct that he was gonna duck, but for some reason I just didn't do it. Like within them split seconds in your brain, like two guys on your shoulder, and that. See there, I went to throw a springing high kick, and I pulled out of it last second. I don't know why I pulled out, because his head was there it was there for it. I just didn't do it. So I think sometimes it's like fate. Like sometimes again slipping in the ring. I think I went to do a flying knee then on him, but he moved back, and I thought it's not even there.
But do you think your technical ability and your IQ sometimes can be a bit more of a downfall in there, because you can see shots coming,
100%.
you're ready to parry, you're ready to block.
Ready too much. Sometimes I'm ready too much. Like I go to hit him, I think, oh no, I could throw that. Oh no, he's aware for it. I'm aware for that. I'm aware for too much. So I know back in the day when I used to fight, I didn't do that as much. I used to go in a little bit more ruthlessly. But I suppose I weren't fighting top elite fighters like him. Whereas if you did go in, you might get caught slipping. So I don't know, innit? Do you know what I mean? I'm not as active to find out. Like when I watch it back, I think, oh, I should have went in with that, and I should have just threw that there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's certain times where I should have threw it and I shouldn't have. I think I should have worked a little bit more in this. See, like there, that exchange, I've went bang bang on him, so I've landed a hand and a kick, but he kicked me back, so he's winning. Yeah. That's how I knew he was winning. See him jabbing him, I knew he was got a kick, took his leg, and I kicked him again, so I won that exchange, but because I threw two low kicks, it's not really counting as scoring. Do you understand what I mean? I smashed his leg twice, but it didn't really score too much, so he's still theoretically won that first exchange. Do you know what I mean? A little teep for teep, I think. You know what I mean? He teaches me a little kick in the arse because I stood side on. And then
and around, bit of respect.
Yeah. It's almost like, cause sometimes you can, like when you're fighting and you got to do something and he's on it, and then he goes to do it and you're on it, and you kind of acknowledge each other as if to say, man, like you're pretty good, this isn't nice what you're doing, you know what I mean? Or if they catch you with a shot, you do acknowledge it. He acknowledged a few things, like when I ducked under his knee in the first round, he started smiling and like tapped me and that. Just to say,
a bit of mutual respect.
Yeah, I think it's just more like, okay, you come in with that, like a little bit. How you do when you're sparring, like if someone catches you with a good shot, you don't go, oh, you dickhead, and try and punch them back. You go, oh, nice, and then you try and punch them back. It's some weird sort of, you know what I mean? It's madness how your brain sort of does it.
Like you acknowledging there that he checked you.
I was acknowledging, but then I faked a low kick and teeped him and landed it. Do you know what I mean? Because he was. I knew he was ready for the next one, but a lot of people miss stuff like that.
Even it's credit to how fast your brain can think. You know, you just done it straight away.
You're
not giving time to reset and.
So like hook low kick, and when he's blocked it, fake the low kick and teep him straight away. So because I knew as soon as he's blocked that kick, I think right, he's ready to block. Fake the kick now and change it somewhere else, but. I think a lot of that comes naturally. Do you know what I mean?
You've been doing it for so long.
Yeah. It's like you driving now. You drive up to red lights. It starts going on to you're driving to green lights, it goes yellow, red. As soon as it goes to yellow, sometimes you're not even thinking, you just naturally you stop, don't you?
Or speed up.
Or you speed up and sneak through them. You do one of the two. Same when you're fighting. If you've been practicing it for that long, you do something. Yeah. But then that's how you learn, because sometimes your body does natural stuff, and you think, why did I do that? That's a bad habit. I need to get out of that. And then you try not to make them same mistakes again. Again, I think Diddy and Anton were saying, just keep on them legs, because you can see me here sort of looking for the legs, just trying to fake in a body shot and a high kick there. But see, I'm trying to stick on that leg a lot there. I'll always go back to that leg there.
It seemed like every big shot that he tried to do, fancy shot, he was on it. He kind of knew it was coming. When you tried to do the spinning back elbow and he ducked under it, and there's been a few others where he's tried to elbow him and he's ducked or moved to the side a little bit. He looked like he was really sharp. Yeah,
he was sharp, and his defense was good. See there though, with the low kick, he just tries to mix a bit of hand leg in with it, and he didn't like it. But he's still there. Look, see how he's
I think credit to Paul, not being biased enough, but I think Superbank's never fought no one with a style like Paul's. So in all fairness, he doesn't need to really participate too much, as long as he can do the bare minimum of scoring and getting the kicks in and finishing strong, and when he's in the clinch, taking a bat, falling on top, he's looking like he's controlling the centre, all these things. He doesn't really need to be a crowd pleaser, because comparing him to Superlet brings it. He comes forward, he's really aggressive.
Yeah, it's risky.
It's risky. So you got to ask yourself, why would you do that?
If he would have flew forward like then, he flew in a little bit, but clipped him on the back of the ear with a hook as he come in. Even though I went down, he went down with me. But I did clip him with that hook. If I would have been a bit earlier and clipped him on the chin with it,
would have just took him down.
Nah, it's just to hit him in the back of his head. If that would have hit him on the chin, he would have. Do you know what I mean? It could have rocked him, or could have put him out with it. Do you know what I mean? But it just didn't land it where I wanted it to land. So one shot in this game can change the whole fight. Do you know what I mean? And he's aware of that. Do you know what I mean? And I was as well. So it was like he's just more experienced. I don't know. I just see it like. I think what it is, to be honest, he's used to the traditional Thai. I'm going to come at you and I'm going to body kick you and I'm going to walk you down and knee you and come in strong and do this to you. And I think he's found his way of schooling people who do that. Yeah. And then obviously he's come across me, and I ain't walking him down, trying to kick him like them normal, and just got to use my right leg and blast you. 1 minute I'm in orthodox, 1 minute I'm in southpaw. Next minute I'm throwing this at him and that at him, and now he's thinking, Raz, what the fuck? Do I go forward on this guy or do I chill? He's not.
How would you? It sounds a bit of a daft question. You don't need to answer it if you don't want. But how would you kind of then fight yourself then? If you was fighting someone like your style, is it?
To be honest, I think Superbank was similar to my style. Obviously, he's better with sweeping and more experience and stuff like that. But as in
again, there's appreciating,
as in counter-attacking and attack. Like most fighters are either a counter-attacker or attacker. Very rarely do a bit of both and quite well with it, and use fakes and setting up shots. So he had a lot. I don't know.
I think he was getting told at one. I think one point of the commentary they said something that you've slowed down. Or you're going a little bit too Thai. I think they said you're going a little bit too Thai now. I don't know. You need to keep up. Keeping him guessing.
I think that was against Jai.
Was it?
I think that was against Jai. Right. When I fought Jai, I said, he's gone a bit too tight. Paul needs to switch up and do back kicks.
Right.
I think with Superbank, there was more saying how Superbank was a bit shook, of the style. Obviously was winning because he was doing what he needed to do, but he did look a bit shook in there. He didn't not like he enjoyed being in there for that amount of time. No. Could see him at certain points looking at the corner and looking at the clock and that. He was looking around in there as if to say, right, just get me out of here now. I can't be arsed with this. It's not as easy as what I thought it was going to be, a quick payday for me sort of thing. I don't know what was going through his head. He had a lot of respect for me afterwards. He was buzzing, saying, good fighter, and all that. And chatting to me, saying, you was good. You very good boy, hard to fight. And I was like, nice one. I said, so you.
Remember as well, he had John Pop in his corner, didn't he?
Yeah, so and John Pop, obviously, because I'd fought Jar, John Pop knows bits about my style. So John Pop would have said to him, the guy's tricky, do this and do that to him. This will work, or start fast, for example, like before with that start fast thing. I actually said to John Pop afterwards, I said, come on, John Pop, man, you're meant to be England, man. I said, why are you not coming in my corner? How come you're going in Superbanks? Cause it didn't piss me off a bit, but I kind of thought, Raz, Superbank's not there training at your gym. Do you know what I mean? You don't know him to that level. Like,
Leeds that he's got a gym in.
Yeah, obviously he's living in Leeds, he's England. I've got a lot of respect for John Pop. First ever interclub I think he done was with me. He done his first interclub with me, so I think from that day we had a good little spar with him, like me and him. He's like twisted me up a bit in the clinch, but we had a good little rumble. I remember he's like, okay everyone, first round now, first interclub. He's like 10-minute one round. I thought, fucking hell, what have I got myself in for here? John Pop just messing about with me for 10 minutes, do you know what I mean? But it was good, it was a good experience, I enjoyed it. At his interclub, but and then I fought Jar a couple of years later, and then when I seen him jump in Superbank's corner, I thought he doesn't train with Superbank. They might know him from Thailand, like chitty chatty too, but it's not like I've seen videos of him sparring and training together. Not a training partner. He don't represent Kiap on tip, so I thought, why is John Pop jumping in his corner for? So I went up and asked him afterwards. I said, why don't you come in my corner and help me? Why you have to help Superbank for? So he's better than me anyway. He should have been helping me. You know what I mean? Wanted me to win and he says, no, he's Thai. He said, and I said, so bad. And they did say to me, on your next fight, he says, if you're gonna listen, I'll help you. So I'll go in your corner and I'll help you win the fight. So I said, all right, sweet. But yeah, it was just a bit of friendly banter. Obviously, it was friendly banter. It did piss me off a little bit. Like, not gonna lie, I'll just be honest. I'll just say how it is. It's just like one of them. I just thought, could have come in my corner in it and tried to help me out. You know what I mean? Like one of them. Boy, that was that right hand. Yeah, I know he felt that, but see, like there when he went like that with his hands, I should have like stuck it on him a bit more. I think. Threw more like there. See, I went knee up, and I pinned him on the ropes, and then I stopped. Yeah. Like that shit there. What I think. I need to see. Watch I catch him with a little that cross. Yeah. See there, that was that cross that just missed me. But I think just before that, I clipped him with a little left up. He went to kick me, and I clipped him with a little left up. And then when he come in with that cross, he tried to bomb me. But luckily, I was throwing a little sidestep and low kick. I didn't mean to sidestep the punch like that. It just kind of happened naturally. It just sometimes shit happens like that when you're fighting. But like I said, it was an enjoyable fight. I enjoyed it. See, like that, shit like that, though. Yeah. That's how I knew. See how I knew then? I thought, he's just won the round off that little bastard. Do you know what I mean? Because up until that point, before that, I'd say that was probably like, I wouldn't say it was my round, but I thought I had a chance of winning this round. I threw more shots than him, and I probably landed more, not necessarily being body kicks, but I landed some nice clean shots on him, and he didn't really land that many, and then he just goes and sweeps you like that, and you just know that sweep's a big score. See, like that, I thought, no point in even
attempting anything.
Yeah, attempting anything there. The last 5-10 seconds, come back, just go out for the last round. But I don't know. It's one of them. Like what he said, if they had a knockout bonus, or they said, right, the winner of this fight gets an extra grand or a couple of grand or something. Is that motivation? Sometimes there's no motivation in there when you're in there and you've done it for that long. You're fighting them top level Thai fighters. Obviously, it's that motivation. So I want to go in and beat him, but sometimes as well, I find like the scoring for my style, like what Vinny said, it's like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. Now let's say for example, 2 of them judges love it, so chances are them judges might sway towards me. Let's say 2 of them judges hate it, or 3 of them judges hate that style, which a lot of them do because they like the traditional Muay Thai style. So anything that I do, even if I did win a fight, sometimes I think judges sway towards the other fighter because they've got that traditional style. Do you understand what I mean? So say for example, like I fought people in the past and bare people said on the outside, nah, you won that fight hands down, you landed the cleaner shots, you've done this, you've done that. And then they've just went, I didn't win the fight because the guy threw more body kicks or he's done whatever. I don't know. I just think. Yeah,
it's a bit of a tricky one. We spoke to a guest earlier, Remy from All Powers.
Yeah, man.
And Remy was talking about, just for example, the rankings and stuff like that in the UK. You're not in, I don't think you're currently in the rankings in the UK, but you're still getting offered the top elite fighters. So that must be a reason why they're offering you them fights for your style. So, I don't think,
Yeah, but to be honest, like, say that, but the rankings, the way how I look at the rankings, like, I'll be honest, I'll say it. Who does them rankings? Like, they make them up as they go along. Each sanctioning body's different.
Yeah.
To start with, first of all, I think the sanctioning body should at least try and get together on some sort of thing and sort of say, look, your rankings are saying this, ours are saying this. What's your reasons for your fighter being number 1 or number 2 and and talk, at least talk to each other and try and come. They're in the same sport, like that's how it should be. I don't think the rankings mount up too much because like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your style, you must have more admirers than people who don't like it. If you get in these fights, a promoter must see, we want Paul on the show against Superbank. There could be a number 1 at that weight who's not getting offered that. So, you know, I think there's more lovers and haters, you know.
Yeah, 100%. But like I said, I don't think the rankings is anything. It's there. There's a ranking system there. But whether it means out or to other people it might mean something. But if I'm number 1 in the rankings at this weight and in this category, do you know what it means to me? Absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit of credibility, so I can put it on there. I'm labelled number 1 in the UK at Not necessarily in my head, I believe, I'm the best fighter in that weight in that country, because I might not be. Just the rankings and found that other fighter, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I think.
Or inactive in UK.
Or inactive. For example, when I won, or I become number 1 in the UK at 61.5 back about 10, 11 years ago, 12 years ago. I held that number 1 spot for 4 or 5 years. Ask me how many times I've defended it.
How many?
None. You know why I defended it? None.
Why?
I didn't get offered no fights. No one wanted to fight me at that weight. From what I got told, probably was people out there who wanted to challenge me for that number 1 spot, but the promoter didn't put it on for whatever reason, and I started fighting for some reason a heavier weight. But I think that was because the promoters thought, oh, this fight will be interesting. That'll sell more tickets. This will sell more tickets. Or whoever was below me in the rankings, it's like, oh, no, there's no point in putting him in with him because it's not going to work. It's just.
So what do you think is the logic behind you then getting offered somewhere like Superbank from a promoter's perspective? You know, it's gonna sell a lot of tickets. You know, bear in mind before this fight, you hadn't fought for over a year.
Yeah, well, I think Brian just said to me, innit, like, obviously, what you want to fight on Yakao, you can fight in, do you want to fight on Yakao?
Yeah.
And he knows that. I've told him, like, when he said to me, oh, look, promoters, who do you want to fight? Are you interested in fight? Get me someone good. Yeah. Just get me someone good. I'm not really bothered who I fight. Just get me someone good who I know, who's credible. Do you know what I mean? Who, if I beat him, I just want to fight. So
you're not interested in belts, not interested in number 1s.
No.
You just want obviously good
I
fighters.
was, bro. I was at one point, but then when I realised, what's the point? I went to London a few years ago, beat Jamie Whelan for the number 1 K1 spot because I thought Muay Thai, hardly any dough in it. Oh, what about K1? There might be more money in that K1 thing. It's a little bit less risky as well. No elbows, this and that. Thought, right, I'll get into K1. Went down to London. Ended up with the number one. I never fought a K1 fight in my life, and then I got offered the number 1 spot for the number 1 K1 guy. But that's obviously because I'm a credible fighter. I've been in the game for years. They know Brass. He's up there. He's at that level. So I'm not in the rankings, like you said, because I'm not that active. I fight 1 year and I don't fight the next year. So I suppose it's probably awkward for them people who are doing the rankings when someone like me pops along and comes and takes over the number 1 spot. But I was when I done that, I was expecting to get fights following through and maybe more money through it or whatever. But it doesn't happen. It's just like, you achieved the number 1 spot. I've done that in the K1 one. Once I achieved that, I thought, right, I'm going to get offered a few more K1 fights here, or they might start offering him an international title or fighting abroad or get on a different promotion, K1 rules, because I'm labelled number 1 K1 in the UK. And basically, just waiting, nothing comes through. Then after a year, what do? Take you out the rankings and just put whoever's active in there, the next person.
Yeah, I understand.
Really, what's a fighter supposed to do? I run my own gym. Like, I'm not supposed to get my own fights. You know what I mean? Start ringing promoters. Put me on, begging to go on a show. Get me on, and then they're gonna hustle you for the purse. You should be, because you're labelled number 1. People should be belling you. People should be shouting you. Yo, how do I get him on my show? Because UK's number 1. But yeah, I remember when I beat Jamie Whelan for that a couple of weeks later, even though it was at a lighter weight, he went fighting in Japan a few months later afterwards for a 20 grand tournament. And it was like, I didn't even get a phone call saying, yeah, Paul, do you think you could make 57 or 58 or whatever weight you fought at? Didn't. It's like, no, we'll just take him instead. So I don't think it's what you know, I think it's who you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You get you them fights. 100% it is. It's like I fought for, I think it was an intercontinental or world title. It was a high up title in Japan against Yamamoto for WBC world title. But apparently for them WBC ones, you're supposed to win the national title first before you can even, and then go to the international one. But because he didn't have a fighter there, it was like, oh, we'll take it. So we need someone from the UK. We would take it on 2 weeks. And I started, so I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? It was like one of them because it was an opportunity for me. But really, I shouldn't have been that guy doing it. And then when I come back, they offered me the national title in England after I'd just been to Japan for over there. They come back and they go, some promoter bells me, I want you to fight for the national WBC title in Southampton or something. I was like, oh yeah, okay. I said, who against, how much? Well, we can only pay you 500 quid or 400 quid and we'll give you this and that. And I was like, just fought for the intercontinental or the world one in Japan. There, we got 2.5 grand, and now you're offering me 500 quid for fighting this national one. And they went, oh, well, if you don't want to do it, we'll get someone else to do it. And that's what they've done. But then the person who's got that national WBC title isn't necessarily the best in the UK at that weight. He's just decided to do it for 500. I think even at this weight now in my division, like sometimes they're saying the number one is whoever's labelled number one because come out. But there's probably someone out there who's been inactive or who's fought, who is number one, who's got to that level really good. And then because they're not getting offered fights or whatever, they just get swipe him out of the rankings because he wants $2 grand to fight him every time he fights. Whereas this guy, he'll do it for 500 quid. He'll do it for fun every month or every couple of months. So put him number one because he'll be better. He'll represent it better if it's cheaper for him. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we've spoke a lot about purses and opportunities and rankings and
definitely.
So it's like, to sum up, like, how do you look back on the fight against him? Did you
Superbank? Yeah, we'll take it back. Like at the end of the day, you can't buy experiences, can you? You can't buy them. Like although I'm moaning about how much I got paid for fighting someone who was that good, not many people can turn around and say, oh yeah, I fought one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. I've done all right with him as well. I went the distance and that, and I caught him with I sweeped him before he sweeped me. Always hold that on him a little bit. So got that first sweeping. Do you know what I mean? Pissed him. It's like one of them. I just find it a bit of banter, and I can show my students like, yo, check, I sweeped one of the nastiest fighters in Thailand. Like at the time, I got him with it before he got me, and I give him a good fight. Do you know what I mean? I had him guessing, and even he'll vouch for that. Do you know what I mean? If in Thailand someone ever says to, oh yeah, this white kid from England there who's never been to Thailand, oh, he's good, him. I fought him. Do you know what I mean? He knows. He posted a few things afterwards, and he messaged me saying, oh yeah, you're a good fighter. I really appreciate it. Because you do. I always say that the most person you want to respect fighting is the person that you're fighting. Because without him, there's no opponent. Do you know what I mean? So you got to respect each other, even if you're not getting a lot of dough for it. So it's one of them situations where you just kind of, I think I love to hate it now, Thai boxing and the purses and all the rest of it. The way how it is, I just think, like, I used to have a student called Liam Nasty, who was really good. His dad used to do the strength and conditioning. His dad was proper into strength and conditioning. He was good at it as well. But Liam was an animal. He was strong, he was fit, he was fast. But just couldn't be bothered. Trying to motivate him to do anything. Yeah, Liam, do you want to fight? Why? What do you mean, why do you want to fight? Like, test your skills out, do you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe. It'd be like that, and then it'd be like, well, you could do it for a living. What are you supposed to say to him? You can do it for a living. Hey, you could get to the point where you're fighting on these big nasty shows there and getting 500 quid a fight or 600 quid a fight, and go, all right, that sounds good. So it's dead injury, you get loads of injuries doing that, and you get a bit of a name for yourself, but not getting paid a lot. Like, it can go really good for some people or really sour.